Welcome to Quick 3D Tutorials. In this video, we want to give you introduction for the animation layer. Basically, the animation layer, you can save any animation information from the one or different controllers in the layer where you can adjust it or delete it or merge it and so on. You can find the animation layer over here. We have just a simple example. Then we're going to talking a little bit more about detail how we can create these. So here we have a character looking up and trying to jump, as you see. So now we have some layer called the jump. If I just show you this and playing, it is exactly the same animation, but what we're going to getting like more higher jump. We have another layer which is called legs, where he going to open his legs same time he jump. So by this way you're going to adding a second animation on your primary animation. And sometimes you can trying some different things. If it does not work, you can just delete it and so on. So that is very nice tool to have it. Now we are going to talking a little bit more about the detail. So we're just going to the new scene with this character. So here we have our character. So the first thing is how we can create this layer. Before you making any layer, you need to select one or multi-object if you want. So in this case, I want to select all this character. So I have a selection over here where I'm going to select all the controller. Then I can click on that. That means actually add all these selected objects into this layer. So layer 1, just call it for body. So now the layer 1 is I have adding all these controller to this one. If I want to add only one, I can of course selecting it and click on that, but I will also show you the other way you can do it. You can just click on this icon. You're going to creating an empty animation layer, and then you're going to select the object you want. When you have selecting it, in this case only this one, go over it, right click and go to add selected object. So by this way I have adding this selected object to it. Maybe later I want to add the second one, I can just selecting it, right click and go to add the selected. And if you want to remove it, again selecting which one you want to remove, right click and go to the remove selected. But let's see, I have some of object or controller over here, but I cannot see what I have adding. So I can just simply right click on it and go to the select object, and it's going to selecting these controller I have adding. So that is a way how to adding these different controller. The other thing we have also actually the base animation. I highly recommend to, before you making your animation, just make the base animation to be empty, because when it is empty you have all the different action in single layer, or maybe if you want to have part of this. So it's going to be make it easier if you want to adjust this layer or deleting it or some of these things, because if you having it on the base animation you cannot delete that. So that is a tip you can remember when you want to use it. And the second thing is the order. So the top is going to affect more your animation. When you're putting it down, it have less effect on your animation. Just very quickly, just call this for hand. There we go. Yeah, you just double click on it and you are ready to rename it. So now I'm going to just make very simple animation. I'm going to select, just make sure, yes, we don't have any things. There we go. So the first things is I just going to the selected layer, which is the body, and from here you can also change to the different one. So we just choosing body 1, and then going to press S, so we're going to keying it, going, let's see, to frame 13, go to the move tool and move him a little bit downward. So now we have the body. You can see we have just creating the body animation inside this. So now I want to make it for the hand. So I'm going to selecting the hand layer, press S when it is number frame 1, and then we're going to the 13, just very simple things, and putting this one to be downward, and press S again. So as you can see, he's trying to move it downward. Then I'm going to creating another layer for the same one, which is the hand. See, call it hand 2. And in this case, I'm going to key it again in frame 1, going to frame 13, and instead of that, I'm going to push this or moving it to be this way instead. And just press, I have auto key, so I don't need to press the S. So now we have very simple animation, as you can see. The thing I will show you is actually sometimes you're going to be confused which layer you are working on. So you can give it a different color. So first of all, when I select this, my time slider is empty. Of course, I need to select the object I have creating it. In this case, is red. So you can just right click on this and going to slide it, let's see, to the green one. And now you can see these turn to the green. And let's see, for the hand, right click, choosing maybe, I don't know, pink color. And of course I need to select this, so now I'm getting the pink color. And this one we can say, okay, I don't know, see blue. So now by this way, anytime you selecting a layer with the object, you can see there are different color information for the keyframe it. So by this way, you're going to make it easier to not blending these keyframe. The next option is, actually to put this, let me go to the body and selecting it, so you're going to see it. You can just lock this. So by this way, you can still see it, but it's turned to the gray. It's hard to see it. But you're going to lock it to protect this layer. And in any time, you can just unlock this back again. You can make show and hide. So if I just say sync, I don't mute the layer, I don't see he move downward. So the thing I get is the hand movement. And you have also something called solid layer. When you turn this on and see it, is only showing you the animation only on this layer. So the next things we're going to look at is the override or adding. So if I just sliding this animation, you can see the hand moving downward, and in same time is going to this direction. That is because driving one from this and one for the other. So we can have some option called override. So if you're selecting that and right click on it, go to the override. What it does, instead to blend this with the other animation, is going to override it. So only moving this direction we have animate that. Of course we can select it and using the weight tool, but to affecting it how much effect we want, that is the option. And I just put it back to 1. And we have the other thing, which is the additive. So you're going to add these both things for your animation. So the hand going down in same time is going to move in his body. So that is the override. If I just change to override, so is only override only this movement we have. And if we put it, excuse me, put it back to the additive, so we're going to add these things together. So we have also an option actually animate or keyframing the weight of the different layer. Make sure you have unlocked these. Sometimes if you have logging it, so you cannot key it. So let's see this one, the hand one, or let's see the hand number 2 movement. I think, okay, that is good, it's going to be downward, but I don't want this one to be moving from here. So what I can do, I can just press on, put it first of all to 0. Let's see, from frame 15, it should be on 0, this layer. So you're going to click on the key. And you need to get result 1. If you're getting 0, so you need to check your script editor why you have getting it. Sometimes it's because you have locking sum of layer. So now I have getting a layer on the frame 15. I have it on 0. When I sliding it over here, I want have it to be, let's see, 0.64. And we have auto key, so it's going to make it automatically, and then is going to be more, I don't know, let's see more to be 100 and key it. So by this way we can actually not only adding or blending this layer, we can also say which time it shall be blended in and blended out and so on. But how about if I want to make how I can make adjustment inside the graph editor with the weight? So the thing you can do, you can just select the layer you want have affecting the weight, right click on it and going to something called the select the layer node, and actually it is over here, and you can see we have red, and that means we have keying it. So you need to go always down and you have the weight. So that is the keyframe we have just creating with for this one. You can adjust it and or make it to spline or whatsoever and so on. So that is if you want to controlling more with the graph editor. So the two last things is how we can duplicate and delete, and again is very simple. Just right click on the layer you want, go to the duplicate layer, and then you can merge these of course by holding the controller and right click and merge them. And Maya trying to frame by frame looking on this animation and make it, and if you don't like it, right click and go to deleting it. So that was just the basic stuff for the animation layer inside Maya, and thanks for watching.